I used this one hidden trick, and within months I was living in my dream beachfront condo in Miami. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to use this same technique that helps me transform my life. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple, actionable game plan to incorporate in your daily routine that should take 5 minutes or less per day to help you also transform your wealth, success, love, or anything else you're dreaming of. Let's get started. So I want you to write down on the middle of a page, grab your notes, grab your journal, grab a piece of paper or notes on your phone and write down your intention. Is it a certain amount of money you want to manifest? Is it a dream home like I did and manifested? Is it a dream car? What is it? Go ahead and put your intention in the middle of a page. All around it, you're going to start writing down some of these different senses that you and I are all capable of having. So this first one is seeing. So the idea here is that when we are visualizing or we are wanting to manifest an intentionality into our life, if I can see it and I can touch it, I can hear it, I can taste it, and I can smell it before it comes to pass in the physical plane, and I can feel and get to the threshold of actually believing I already received it, the intention will become a physical reality. What I did to manifest this amazing beachfront condo, if you've never seen it before, there's a link to a video here on my YouTube channel of that time period. But what occurred for me was it was 2020 and everything was shut down. It was around March timeframe where the place I was living in, which was a top floor, amazing place in downtown Miami, me and my partner were ready for the beach. We lived in Miami. We wanted to be on the beach. 2020, everything was closed, including the visitations for us to go and see and visit condos in different places we want to live. The demand for living and finding a new place was high and the supply was very small. So I remember waking up on a Sunday morning and just thinking, this is going to be really difficult to manifest. We were coming towards the end of the lease, April, May timeframe. We started to really, again, entertain. We really want to live in a condo. It was the middle of May. We had to leave the lease by the middle of July. In that May timeframe, when I was waking up on that Sunday morning, I'm thinking, where are we going to get this? There's no condos that we could find open. The ones that were open were just not, it was just not the right vibration. It was not the right place. And also at the same time, the amount of money needed to move into this condo was substantially more than I had ever normalized in my life up until that point. So there was a lot of factors that were holding me back, or what we call resistance, that was getting in my way of actually manifesting. Come around to that Sunday afternoon, I had the idea, why don't we actually see it visualization style and prove that this can work, regardless of how much limitation is caused financially, as well as trying to figure out where we're going to live when everything is shut down. We put it to a test. That Sunday night, every day consecutively, what we do is we go within, because we remembered that our consciousness is the first cause, and once I shift my consciousness, the outside world will start to shift. So I remember thinking to myself, well, here we are, 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. What do I need to fuse with in order to really be in this condo already? So I start to map out an exercise for myself of these 5 senses. I say, what would I see? Well, I would see amazing condo building, luxury style, amazing cars, Rolls Royce, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. And when we were exiting our condo towards the back, I would see the sand, the ocean, the waves, the seagulls. I'd see beach chairs, towels, right? So I'd see that. So I started to write that down on a piece of paper. What would I smell? I would smell salty sea ocean air. I would smell the sunscreen on my skin. I would smell the lunch that I brought outside to sit down and eat lunch at the beach. What would I taste? Well, I would taste that lunch that I'm bringing down to the beach. I want you to go there with me. What else would I taste? I would actually taste some of the salty water. If I went in the ocean, I went underwater and some of the salty water went in my mouth, I would taste the salt. What would I hear? Well, go ahead and do this with me. When I close my eyes, I would hear the ocean waves. I would hear the seagulls. I would hear the workers at the condo building bringing chairs out to other people around the building. I would hear laughter from families or couples or individuals that were around and maybe having a good time. What would I touch? Well, I would feel the sand underneath my feet. I would feel the sand if I lifted up in my hands. I would feel the warmth of the water in the July time period, but I would feel the coldness of the water in January time frame. And I got so clear with the image. It was so real because I'm using all the senses that I would use in this physical life, right? I'm using the senses right now to feel this piece of paper and to see this and to see the different things around me. I was doing that same thing in imagination. Now, with all of this written down, I practiced actually being in that day after day after day with my partner. And we did it together, and we talked about it as if it already happened. Do you remember when we moved into that amazing condo? Do you remember when we found that great, perfect spot? Do you remember when the financial abundance came in to allow no worries or concerns about what we needed to live in the condo and buy all the furniture we needed and all the other things? After doing this consecutively over and over and over, a series of synchronistic events started to play out to get us to that condo. So what occurred here first was one of the people that were our representatives to show us all these different possible condos. We had visited a couple in a place called Sunny Isles, amazing place, North Miami Beach, like above there, but they still weren't up to our standard. There was one that we went in, we're like, this is just an amazing place, but it's just so torn up and bad. Like, we don't want to put all the time and effort to, clean up the place and do all these other things. And then we visit another place, we're like, that's not really fitting with us either. And again, remember, there was not a lot of places available. And then we got a call again and he said, hey, listen, I can show you another one. You're already going to go visit this other place. I could show you another one that we could do in the same day. You go to this one and then we'll go to this one right afterwards. It's going to work out perfect because they're two, it's just a couple of buildings apart, not that big of a deal. So we went to this other one, we're like, okay, this is really great, but there were so many limitations within it. There was things that we couldn't do. We didn't want some of the things already in there. It just became very complicated. It just fell off. And we're like, okay, here's the last one. We go to this other place and we walk in and we are in there and it's like, this is it. This is what we can do. Me and my partner walking around, we're feeling into it. I remember her looking at me and saying like, this is the one. And I remember feeling it into where I was at and I was like, this has to be it. This is it for us. And then also that same week, a series of synchronistic financial events played out to have me receive a very large sum of money manifested in cash collected during that same week of us selecting it. Before that, I had a lot of doubt. I had really concerns about whether this was going to be possible. Do we need to extend the lease? Because the time period, do we need to extend it another month? Concerns about the standard we're about to live in. I mean, we're living in a very wealthy condo. And when we got there, I'm telling you, there's Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all the cars that you can imagine, that dream cars to most people. They are sitting there in the parking lot. They are right there, every single one of them. Besides a couple of them, maybe a Bugatti or something, right? There's just a lot of expensive vehicles in that building, parked around it, everything. I said, is this my new identity? Like, can I actually step into this? So I had some self-doubts and like, go financially, is this a good thing for us to do? And I did so much internal work and really fusing with it that during that week it flipped, this is me. So I practiced the intentionality of it so much that I convinced my consciousness that that's who I was, that's who I became during that week. And then all the synchronistic things lined up to allow this to happen. We eventually, it comes down to end of June-ish time period, we actually moved into this amazing condo. We had ended up living there just under 2 years. It was just the most amazing experience. Our backyard was the beach, ocean front, and going outside and seeing all these luxury cars all the time. Every time we went out there, people already had our chairs set up for us, brought beach towels for us. It was just an amazing thing. Even when 2020, everything was shut down, we could still enjoy this amazing place while other people were pretty much couldn't do some things, couldn't go out in the world and explore, right? So it was just one of the most amazing manifestations. And I remember the very first day, us going down, it was in the evening time, going out there and saying, let's go, for our first walk on the beach. And I remember getting there and tearing up a little bit in front of the ocean because I felt I already lived this. I already smelled the salty air. I already felt the sand underneath my feet. I already seen the ocean waves the way they are. And it paralleled my imagination almost exactly, that it's kind of that chilling moment like, wow, it's like a deja vu. I've already been here. Something's already happened. And that was because I fused with it. Ever since that time, it's a hidden idea for so many people that if you can do this, it takes a lot of practice. There's sometimes I didn't feel like doing it, right? But I stuck with it and I was very consistent, and my partner was as well. Practical exercise for you to get started with right now. Again, write down your intention. Write down what you would see. If it's money, what would you see? Your bank account increased. If you have a business, your sales number skyrocketing. Your end of the year statement, profit loss statement, or your revenue that came in, seeing that number. Seeing what you do with the money. If it's a soulmate, seeing what you'd be doing together. If it's health, seeing yourself, feeling fit and excited and going for a run, or looking in the mirror and feeling really good about yourself, whatever that is. What would you smell? Now, a lot of people say, well, with money, what would I smell? Well, you could smell paper money pretty easily, right? But if it's a bank statement, well, maybe you're not smelling your bank statement, but maybe you're at a luxury hotel viewing your bank statement and you just had one of the best meals ever. Or you're in a local cafe, you're reviewing your end of the year statement and you're smelling the coffee shop you're in, right? So make this an environment of what you would smell. What would you taste? Like I said, like I wasn't tasting the condo, right, that I was trying to manifest, but I tasted the environment around me, right? I could taste the salty air just by breathing. I would taste the lunch I brought, the dessert that we brought outside, the green juice that I was drinking on the beach, right? So make up the environment of something you would taste if that was happening. What would you hear? That's a pretty easy one. And what would you hear? Sometimes a congratulations from a friend, a family member, a coworker, somebody that would really set a good congrats to whatever your success was of your intention. What would you touch? So if you were logging into your bank account, you would touch the keyboard. If you were seeing your ideal weight and your ideal goal, you would touch the fitness equipment or the new foods in your diet plan, right? So just make some things up that are in accordance with as if I'm already there. Once you have all of this down on paper, every day, be there. Every day, live as if you're there. It needs to permeate every cell of your body. It's not just a one-time thing. Don't just look at it or visualize it once and you're like, okay, that's great. I want you to become it. Just as I did with the condo. I was there energetically. And it all wound up being exactly what I needed to do to manifest that intention. It was an amazing, amazing place. We actually only moved out of the place because we were ready to start more of a different lifestyle, because the condo in itself has its just amazing perks, but also we wanted to do something very different with more of a homey side of things. And we had other intentions that came up. That was an amazing experience for almost 2 years. It was like, this is fantastic, but now We want to be a little bit more family oriented. We want to do a couple other things. Still an amazing intentionality. We're able to manifest that place the same way we did this. So anything is possible within the realm of consciousness and what you can fuse with. Grab your 5 senses. Utilize this to impress your mind and consciousness with the thing you're wanting. Live there already. Experience it. And as you do, you'll start to experience it on the physical plane. Scott Haug signing off here. And if you haven't already joined our manifestation family, I'd love to see you here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And in the description below are all of our courses, group coaching, and one-on-one mentorship as well. If you want to get some help on fusing with your intention, doing deep healing of trauma, having recurring themes erased out of your life, stuck at a plateau and getting that released out of there, stepping into a higher level of prosperity consciousness and how to do that, or being held accountable to make sure this is easier for you to do, we'll go ahead and help you through that. So make sure you click the links for all the description of all the details and helping you move forward. I'd love to have you more in our soul tribe and manifestation family overall. So again, give this a shot. One little last thing is that with your intention, it's great to do this with somebody. Okay, so you can co-create not only with the universe, but with somebody. So it might be a spouse, it might be a partner, it might be a friend, it might be a coworker, etc. It doesn't matter. If you don't have anybody to practice the intention with, that's okay. It still very, very much works. It's just sometimes a fun game to play with somebody else. So I suggest that if you're trying to manifest with somebody, do it together. Make sure you have the same vision, the same image, the same ideas all around here. And that would be really, really great. Scott Haug signing off here. I look forward to seeing you over in another video real soon.